And then you were enticed back, many years later, to join the newly formed Coast.
We were like, we'll do this, but we're going to be on exactly the same sort of deal and contract and everything else. And I said, okay, fine. And I met these people in London. One guy, John Monnier, who was incredibly experienced in radio. He'd set up Virgin Radio with Richard Branson. He'd set up Talk Radio in the UK and London. Vastly experienced, and he was involved. So as soon as I knew he was involved with the Coast thing here, I was like, okay, this is looking
credibility
pretty good.
Was
yeah. And I had a meeting in London with the owner and with John, and they pitched it out, and I negotiated a bit and basically said, listen, me and Danny are really up for it, but
you got a car.
We're coming on the same deal and everything. I got a car. You didn't get a car.
Things like that. How did you find the experience at Coast?
I found it very frustrating, simply because when we did our best radio, me and him, we had the facilities. Actually, we never really had those facilities at Dubai 92 either, but at Channel 4 we had a production studio, so we finished the show. We spent a couple of hours each morning in a production studio making wacky phone calls and doing production and everything else, and we get it boxed off for the next day. 92 we never really had that either.
We relied a little bit heavier on our home studios at 92, and but there was another sense when you're that close to that kind of stuff at Channel 4. We had a little less at 92, but we're still there.
Yeah.
But at Coast, it wasn't there at all.
There was no production studio at Coast, so we were coming off the air and we weren't able to record phone calls, and we weren't able to do interviews. We weren't able to do the things that we knew if we'd have brought that, it would have made it better. So it was constantly frustrating. And then, of course, you'd hear people moaning about the signal, and that was frustrating too. And then you'd be on the air for 2 hours in the morning and find out that none of what you'd just done had been transmitted because the transmitter had closed down or whatever.
So, Coast is no more.
Nope.
Rick, I believe you'll...
Well, no, actually, there is a Coast. It just doesn't feature...
What I mean is, Coast is no more with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I was trying to be very diplomatic there. You've moved on to an internet radio station, which is this one, myexpatradio.com.
Being able to put into My Expat and to promote it, as we have been recently and will do more of, that I think timing factor dictates that this might be the chance to make it a little bigger. So I said, with Rick and Chris Fisher and a few other folks that are out there and joining us and helping to contribute for now, I think that as we carry on, we can make that more of a success. And no matter where we are in the world, we can all contribute. So I don't think it's going to be the last of Rick and Dan. And remember, the demise of Coast. Remember, our good friend Stan the Man also, sadly.
Yes, he lost his job.
I've spoken to Stan the Man.
You know, and
he's from my neck of the woods.
Is he really?
So
he is, yeah. He's from my neck of the woods.
Happily, he's
from my neck, actually.
He's taking more of a lead role in myexpatradio.com as well.
It's been a pleasure having you. But we can simply, the message I want to really get out to the guys there, this is not the end of Rick and Daniel.
No, God, no, never say never.
And somebody said a little, oh man, aren't those guys just a little bit too old? Or I'm thinking, hold on a second.
Well, Daniel is clearly, but you know, I
not true.
I keep him going.
But I think we're going to be like that old comfortable uncle that just
but I'm
keeps
sure
coming around,
I'm sure there's a million
spreading
people
his joy.
Spreading his seed.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a million people out there turning around and say, don't we think the Rolling Stones are just a little bit too old? But they're still there doing the thing.
Oh, Steve,
exactly.
Thank you for putting us in such lofty heights as the Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure having you guys.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This is myexpatradio.com. Johnny's calling. We're gonna have some more again.
Yeah.
Really?